happening, everybody? How's it going? This is Can I Get More podcast in my monitor. I am Johnny Ruckus. How's it going today? It is, as this is going to air, this is June 28th. I'm filming and recording this just a few days early. Might as well just to, get it out of the way right quick. This is going to be part 3 of my conversation with Mr. RJ Styles. And, this was fun. I had a guest for the first time. We talked a bunch. You know, we probably could have kept going, but we ran out of time. But, it was a great time. I'm glad I had guests. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And here it is, part 3 with RJ Styles. Thank you very much.
Word to your mother.
Gotta keep it hood, right? Right?
I gotta start. It's my new thing now. Every podcast I go on, I gotta say that. It's my jam. It's no longer Rob Van Winkle's. It's mine. Shout out to Rob Van Winkle.
Shout out to Rob Van Winkle. Fucking vanilla is ice. Yeah. Did you see
Vizzle.
that? Did you see that? That Adam Sandler movie, That's My Boy. Did you see that? It's Vanilla Ice is in it, and the premise of the movie is Adam Sandler's character back in like the 80s was banging his teacher when he was a kid, right? And
sounds legit.
She got pregnant, but he became like this giant star because like his teacher was like really hot, and he was like 12. So he obviously doesn't know how to be a parent. So basically his dad, Adam Sandler's dad in the movie, basically raised him, and he was like a hard ass and shit. So Andy Samberg is his son. Kind of they don't have a thing, right?
I might have to watch this movie because I like all these actors.
Yeah, but it's anyway, somewhere along the line, because he has like this 15 minutes of fame kind of thing. So he like has partied with all these people, and he used to be friends with Vanilla Ice. And they stopped being friends because apparently Adam Sandler's character slept with Vanilla Ice's mom. So they were like, they fucking hate, Vanilla Ice.
Please tell me he would say a word to your mother once in a while to him.
There's a spot in the movie where and Adam Sandler's character is super fucking burnout, right? Mm-hmm. Just, he's a fucking loser. So he's got to get somewhere to get to Andy Samberg's, his son, his wedding. He's got to tell him something. And he runs up to Vanilla Ice's house. He's like, Ice, you still got the 5-0? The Mustang? And he goes, word to your mother. And that's how he answered him. He goes, I don't know what that means. Do you have or not? Let's go. And here he is. He's got the white, 1990 Fox body drop top with the 5.0, just like in the fucking video.
You watch his home restoration show?
I think I saw a little bit.
It wasn't bad. Like he worked hard. He did a lot of work himself.
Yeah.
The dude knows how to do hard work, but that's his tagline. Word to your mother.
Word to your mother. It's always been. I remember, what is that movie he was in at the time? Cold as Ice. There's a spot. He goes. He's.
Is that before or after the Ninja Rap?
I don't know. Same. It's all in the same area, right? 90, 91, whatever, right?
Just go Ninja,
go. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Oh yeah, I had that on cassette. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, he did this movie. It's awful. As you would assume it would be, right? But one of the taglines in it is stop being with the zero and get with the hero. That's what his like fucking smooth ass line was. Yeah. Fucking A.
Did he get into like heavy metal?
He did in the late 90s it did like a new metal album, and he did a super heavy version of Ice Ice Baby.
Of course.
Yeah. it's horrible, but not as horrible as you think it would be. Like there's some cool shit actually in it. Like Ross Robinson produced it. You know, like that did like Limp Bizkit and Korn and shit, those early ones. Like
Well, I remember him being on some reality show. They're at some bar with a karaoke machine, and like someone puts on Ice Ice Baby, and like Rob, and he's like, "Fuck you guys," because he's in his metal phase at this point, you know. And
oh, that's awesome.
he used to do
That's
it.
so fucking funny.
That's so thug life right there.
Oh, keeping it on. Oh my gosh. Jeez. All right. So
Where we leave off? So
we left off when we were kind of like we had just kind of like started hanging out again. We did that band-ish, and with air quotes, that really wasn't a band. We were just looking for shit to do. And then I think we still kept in touch, but we weren't like hanging out because it was just like you were down in Whitewater,
right,
and shit. And then you started getting. Go ahead.
I started living in Whitewater.
Yeah.
While I was at school there and stuff, and we stayed in touch the whole time, but we didn't play music until much later again.
Yeah.
I got a house, rented a house with some guys, and when I started a band again, I had brought my drum set and everything. That old drum set that I eventually gave to you. Whatever happened to that thing?
I sold it.
Okay.
I sold it in 2 parts. I actually sold it as 2 drum kits.
Yeah, you could. How big it was?
Oh yeah, it was like
It's a 9-piece.
giant piece set.
Actually, no, it was a 22-piece.
It was
with those drums.
fucking huge, but I had.
I was total 80s at that time.
Oh yeah, it was they were concert toms.
Yeah. Oh, and like I bought enough drums to make an 8-piece, including that CB700. And I realized they sound completely different. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, I went back to the music center to buy some more, and she's like, I didn't have a lot of money. My parents didn't want to spend a lot of money. I should say, I think they paid for it. And she's like, well, I can't sell it as is. You took all the important parts out of it. She didn't realize what she was doing. She sold those parts to us. She sold I think a 13 or 14 and a 16-inch floor, and a bass drum.
Okay.
No one wanted to sit without the 13 or 14 and a 16. Maybe it's a 12 and a 13. I had a 12, 13. It must have been 14, 15 I took. Yeah, so she couldn't sell the rest of it because it was such a mismatched set.
Yeah.
So she gave the rest of it to us for real cheap.
Oh my god.
And it was a 22-piece.
God, it's so wild.
It's 2 bass drums, 4, 5, 6, 7 rack toms, 2 floor toms, and I think someone gave me a set of roto toms.
See, I didn't have the roto toms.
No, it was 8 rack toms. There was 2 small ones up on top. I think I had a 8, a 10, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I remember the release.
16 floor, 18 floor, and 2 22-inch basses.
All concert toms.
Yeah.
Except for the floors. Wait, no.
No, those are normal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the floors?
Yeah,
those are
floors.
concerts.
So the whole thing was concerts, yeah. But
Which sounded such bud.
There were a lot of the drums in that set didn't sound good. The
Bass drum sounded good.
The bass drum sounded good. The 1 floor tom you could get to sound good. I think it was the 16 you could get to sound good.
Yeah.
The 10-inch rack.
Yeah, a couple of the racks sounded good.
The 12-inch rack. Those sounded really nice. The little ones were what they were. They weren't horrible, but they weren't great. Yeah.
Well, I hate those things.
But there was only you could get like a 5-piece that actually sounded really nice out of it.
Oh, I used to do it all the time because I had that huge setup. I'd build 4 sets out of it and move
Yeah.
So I had one section for it all, and then I'd move it all to another section in the basement with this carpet and build a little 4-piece, which I had more fun with. I put more blues on it.
Yeah.
And I realized that with all that stuff, I felt pressure to use it all. I can. The 4-piece.
You got all the toys.
You felt free.
Yeah.
It was more fair. Felt more airy. More. Yeah. So brought. I didn't bring the whole thing. I think I just brought like a 5-piece to college.
Sure.
For that time period. That's with the guy who was a klepto, and that's a whole nother story.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah. But
He sold a drug dealer's weed. The guy knocked on my door looking for me. Yeah, that was kind of a weird situation.
it's so wild. It's so crazy.
Yeah. I was like, dude, get your shit, get out of my house, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna deal with that stuff.
Was that the dude that stole your guitar or tried to, or is that a different guy? Because didn't you get an acoustic or something stolen?
Oh no, that's a different time.
Okay. Was it the same dude or a different dude?
No, I have no idea who it was.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no, I think we found out who it was, and that's not a story I'm proud of how we met that guy.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was a very kind of illegal thing I shouldn't divulge.
We don't worry about it. Anyways, yeah, when I ended up getting rid of that kit, I sold it as 2 kits because I needed cash. So, and I wasn't playing drums anymore or something like that or whatever. Anyways, I needed the money. So I took all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, yeah, I'll give you like $100 for it. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Really? You know, concert toms were definitely not a thing.
No.
They've kind of came back a little, like some people like to use some of them, but
The sonars.
sure.
You're talking about?
Yeah.
But not the Tama. This was an Tama Imperial Star kit for anyone who knows that is.
From the 80s.
Way 80s.
But
should have stayed in the 80s.
I ended up making a 4-piece, you know, because that's pretty much what I played anyways, 5-piece at max, you know, but I really only enjoyed the one tom. I didn't need all that stuff.
I think the last year or two I had it, I played a 7-piece like Chas Saxon style.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
I like that to set up the most.
Yeah, and that's how you set yours up now.
Yeah.
But I just used a 4-piece, and then I had all these other pieces laying around. So I was like, I got a kit. I'm never going to use these. I'm going to get rid of these. Well, he ended up giving me more for that piece than what I was originally going to get for all of it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, you know. So I still had the kit, and then eventually, like, I stopped playing drums. So I sold the other piece of it and got about the same as I did for the... So I got way more money for it, selling it in 2 pieces.
Which makes sense.
Than I did getting it, you know, all at once.
Well, at the time, I think I had 2 snares, so you really could get away with it.
I don't remember if because
or did it just have the 1 snare?
it had just the 1 snare.
That snare alone was worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and I had that. I kept that. I actually Eric used that snare for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, before he I want to say when he bought his PDP kit, he bought another snare then, and then I got that brass snare, I think.
Yeah, it's brass shell.
But yeah, he used it through that whole time. So it got a lot of fucking miles on it for goddamn sure.
Good.
But let's see here.
You can see if it's still around here. You sell it?
No, it's gone. It's
All right.
gone.
So around here, I might take it back off your hands. It was a good piccolo.
Yeah, it was a decent piccolo for sure. Okay, so you went back to college.
Yeah, so I was playing that band and working a lot. I had 3 jobs while in school full time. Yeah. Anyways, so at that time, I was no longer in music. I had done English for a while because writing. I like to write. And started dating this girl who was in theater. And decided to do, and I had a friend who was living with, who was in the theater department, which is how I kind of met her, I guess. Went to a theater party, met this girl, and decided to take a theater course. I really enjoyed it, and they really enjoyed me being in it. So I thought, this is real fun. I'll just do this for my major, which, you know, worthless. So that's what I changed my degree to, and kept doing music on the side. Well,
because didn't you change degrees a couple times? Did you not? Right?
Yeah.
But you know, that's kind of almost seems to be
I want to change it before I even graduated because I didn't want to agree in theater. But at that point, I'm getting kind of too old to be in school. Yeah, at that point I was in EWM. Yeah. And I was in a class full of freshmen for mechanical engineering because there's more money in that than
Sure.
theater. Plus, I'm good at that kind of stuff. So I'm sitting there with my notebook and pen. All the kids around me, all these freshmen have their computers open. Every single one had a computer on the desk. Most of them were on Facebook. Some were on YouTube.
Sure.
One guy was watching porn in his auditorium. And I'm like, I can't deal.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, I am like a semester away from graduating with a degree in theater. I just need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I found out that I'd make more working for my father than I would in theater. So just go there and figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, just back to
How does probably you're probably gonna get to it, but how does single serving? Well, wait, no, our crowning year, and then
that'd be the next one.
How does our crowning year start?
So, I left that house and got an apartment with one of the guys we had in that house, and I was looking for some guys to play with.
Yeah.
And there's some guys. Okay, so I was visiting my at the time my friend Josh, and his whole apartment would get together and party all the time. And there's some guys there that were friends with one of the girls in the apartment, which is funny because my old bass player, who was one of the guys there, ended up marrying one of those girls. Shout out to my buddy Jason.
Shout out.
His wife Steffers.
Shout out.
And they were playing in a band. I'm like, cool. And like, yeah, we're looking for guitars.
Well, hey, look at that.
Yeah, I play guitar. A guy who could play lead stuff. So I'm like, well, when the girls there had a guitar, I'm like, well, show you stuff like I can do. And they enjoyed what I could do and stuff. So yeah, they're practicing in the basement of a dorm. In a little practice room, which was not meant for that.
Yeah.
But whatevs. So we go there and practice, and people are complaining. We were playing... what song was that? I can't remember the song. It was some punk band at the time.
Okay.
You know, like a Taking Back Sunday style band.
Okay.
And it's going pretty well. We were looking for a place to practice. And I think we met over at Josh's apartment or something like that, because he was one to let the kind of thing go. He had a drum set.
Oh, okay.
He always wanted to play drums, so it was convenient. I think he had a drum set. Someone had a drum set. That wasn't mine.
Okay.
I don't remember anymore. It's so long ago. But it kind of turned out that the other guys really didn't want to do it. They just want to say they were in a band.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And you get those kind of people.
Oh, yeah.
But Jason really wanted to play. He really wanted to play live. So him and I end up getting a house. Those of you who can't see, Johnny is playing with the guitar in the corner.
Yeah. I just stabbed myself and almost knocked the guitar over.
So,
run a well-oiled machine here. Sorry.
Well regulated. So, who was all in that house? To start off, I think Jason and I were, with friend Dave, who, shout out to Dave Dick. Why do you keep seeing people's full names? Yeah, he didn't care.
Doesn't matter.
But, at that house, and, was he there for... No, Josh was there. Sorry, I'm trying to put it back. God, so it feels...
Yeah, you think you know something, and then
Yeah,
you're
like,
like, wait
whoa,
a second.
man.
Yeah, I've been having this through this whole section of life.
Yeah, so like it actually was me, Josh, and Jason had that place together, and some girl that Josh knew. Yeah, and then she left because she wasn't really enjoying the boys club. And Dave moved in, and I loved having Dave as a roommate because when he was an extremely fit person, and he pushed me to be fit and taught us a lot about eating properly and stuff, and he liked the kitchen immaculate all the time. So whenever I came in the house, the kitchen always smelled like bleach.
Okay, because he's just cleaning it all the time.
It's always clean because I wasn't the cleanest guy at the time. I'm better now because of that. And I think Jason was already... Josh was messy. He's those kind of guys that just put water in it and put in the sink, and I hate that. So yeah, at that point Jason and I wanted a house so we could play music.
Yeah.
And we started trying people out for music, and we found a guy named Hans.
Okay.
Play drums.
Yeah.
We had a couple of people try out. He came and tried out, and he's like, all right. And he asked, can I come back? I recorded the song, can I come back in a week and write something to it and play it?
Oh, okay.
I thought, you know what, that's actually a pretty good way to do this. It's actually smarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, we'll give that a shot.
Okay.
He came back and he fucking nailed it. It was awesome. I loved it. And then we found another guy who played guitar, and he was more of a blues player, so he can do a lot more lead work.
Yeah.
And name is Corey. Shout out to Corey. And fun dude to hang out with. He's still in the music industry. I think he's a retail at this point. He has his own online store.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
good for him. And then I don't know how we met Grant, but Grant sang in choir, and Grant's actually from our hometown.
Yeah. Okay.
His cousin was Justin.
Oh.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always knew the last name, but I never bothered to figure.
Chris's girlfriend was his cousin as well, I believe. Wasn't?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they. Yep.
So he's part of that whole clan,
Okay.
and that was our crowning year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was the first singer, and the first single we put out was a song I wrote, and no one liked it because of how bad my singing was. And so then we had Grant went be the main singer, but he used to always sing out of his register all the time, so his voice was always going out.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's fine, whatever it is. So we kind of would trade off a lot.
Okay.
I remember I wrote a song called Shipwreck, where we would go back and forth, call and respond kind of thing.
Sure.
And I liked how that one sounded. I liked to really get that one recorded properly. But yeah, and that was that was my first real performing band.
Okay.
I think we played at least a decent dozen shows. There is some recordings. I think I have recordings somewhere. I think I found it one time.
Oh, nice.
I should try and find it again.
I remember seeing.
You saw us live.
Yeah, we hadn't. At that point, I don't think we had talked a lot.
Yeah, we were still talking, but
like not,
yeah.
Not consistently.
But yeah, you Mitch and Brad came out to that show, didn't you?
Yeah, I think.
Or was it just you and Brad?
I'm not 100% sure, but I remember seeing you in Grafton, of all places.
I remember you came up to me and said, "I thought you said you never wear a tie." And I don't remember ever saying I wouldn't, but I have made declarations like that before and been called on it, so it's possible.
I remember you having super emo hair.
Yeah, my hair got really long
Your hair
for a while
was
there.
like over the eye kind of thing.
I refused to cut it, and it looks so bad. My dad kept calling me the guy from A Man with No Country. And I dead nuts, he was correct.
But I remember seeing, I saw you guys at one time, and then I don't think it lasts too much longer after that, if I remember right. But who knows? I haven't remembered shit right in this whole thing. But yeah, I remember
that was in the prime of that band.
That was, I remember you definitely were having a lot of fun, and you jumped off something. Was it Grant's piano?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we started off the set with a Ben Folds version of Bitches Ain't Shit.
Yeah.
And we were worried about me standing on that thing, so we tested it out.
Okay.
I was standing up there and kind of waved my hands, and then I jump off into that opening solo riff. Mm-hmm. I love that. That was Shipwreck.
Okay.
That song. That's still one of my favorite riffs I ever wrote.
Okay.
But yeah, to me, I love how we started off real calm and stuff, and then go right into this really fast, in your face, blast beat style. I loved that start to the set because it set the tone.
Yep. Absolutely.
People don't realize how important it is song selection in a set. You have to bring them up, bring it down, all kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. You have to, so if you start off hard, the crowd's gonna start off hard. Mm-hmm. And I like if you even start off real low as like a pickup beat, so to speak, and then into an upbeat of your original. Yeah, that's even better.
Yeah.
But that band we had a lot of fun. I learned where a lot of my deficits were. Because I played some lead lines in there that I could not play in time. It took I had to practice. I had to start over a few times because it was like a repeating almost an arpeggio, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. 'Cause I was so pretty green guitar playing at that time.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, so yeah, that band was a lot of fun. And then we had this one song that was very popular that Grant wrote. Found out that he had ripped the whole thing off.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
And that's my biggest fear as a musician. So whenever I wrote anything, people were like, "Oh, it sounds like this one song." Oh, that one's done. I threw it away.
Okay.
I had a lot of good riffs. I wrote that sound like something else.
Sure.
I've since then relaxed a little bit, so I'm like, you know what, screw it. I don't listen to other things, and it doesn't come out my music. You know, shout out to that 311 doc.
Oh, in larger show detail?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that cool. Yeah. Don't listen to music because then theirs will come out in yours.
Yeah, so it came out that this song was completely... It wasn't like he just ripped off a part. No, it was word for word.
It was the song?
It was a song.
Okay.
The only thing that was different was my guitar line and like the drum part a little bit. So...
I don't... You know what? You don't have to say it, but I don't remember what the song is. Do you remember what it is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I remember I was so upset by it, and we called them over to talk about it. And Jason and Hans and Corey, I'll sit down with Grant, like, you know, this is not cool, you did this, but, you know, we forgive you. I'm sitting in the corner away from them all. I went through a bottle of Red Label. I was so pissed off. I was getting myself hammered. I went through the bottle in like an hour.
Ooh.
And they're all like, Ryan, do you have anything to say? I'm like 3/4 left. Like 3/4 the bottle gone. I'm like, I don't fucking forgive you. Fuck you. I was just like, I was so angry.
Yeah.
Because that's, you know, the way I saw it is like, you just destroyed my reputation.
Sure.
No, for what?
Yeah.
And we continued the band for a little bit longer after that, but then I think people wanted to go their separate ways, and I think Corey wanted to go his separate way. Like, he was graduating from school, and Grant, same thing. So that band just kind of just fizzled out, which we weren't that good. Let's call a spade with a spade here. We weren't that good.
Sure.
But, you know, Hans is brand new in college, and Jason and I were still going. So we're like, let's keep this going. So that we need a singer. And a couple people try out. And this girl wanted to try out. And I was like, girl singer. I'm always against change. It's funny, now that I'm older, like, I'm okay with things changing, but only certain things.
Very selective.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. And she was young. I think she was 17.
Yeah. Okay.
So in high school. And Jason and Hans both really wanted her in the band. Because at the time, Paramore was just breaking out. Like, okay, girls can rock out.
Sure.
You know, it's a new thing. I'm like, well, let's just hear how she does. Because I've been around the block a few times at this point.
Yeah.
You know, our crowning year was both Hans and Jason's first band. I'm like, not going to pick someone up because they are a girl.
Right.
Let's go see how she does. Well, she happened to have she's playing in a cover band. And like, I want to hear how she writes. Mm-hmm. Well, they're playing at this show, so we decided to stop there on the way to Summerfest. Watched her show. She didn't know we were there. Watched it. I'm like, okay, so she's got good stage presence. She can sing really well. Very pretty girl. Great front person. She's really good as front person, but I want to hear her write.
Because you said two of the guys knew her, or was it just
MySpace?
Oh, no shit.
Put it out on MySpace because MySpace was the shit.
Okay,
Shout out to
so
Tom.
she responded to the ad and said, "Hey, I got this gig, or whatever. You should come."
I think it was on her. I don't know. I don't think she knew we were coming, so it must have been on her site saying, "Hey, come see me," on her MySpace page.
Okay, so she was looking for something else.
Yeah, because her band, the guys in it, were going off to college.
Okay.
And she wasn't too far away from Whitewater.
Okay.
And so we went there, and like, she could sing. She was very pretty. She could do. She's great presence. She was a good front person. Mm-hmm. And both Jason and Hans like, we got to. I'm like, I want to hear her write.
Yeah.
I want to hear something original. And just then she's like, well, we're gonna play an original song for you. I was like, okay. It was good.
Okay.
She can write.
Nice.
So it's like, okay, I'm good. You guys are like, They're like,
Jesus Christ, Ryan.
yeah. There's some things you don't talk about in public.
We come or what?
I almost texted to you that day when you said, I'm shopping for beds.
Some things you don't talk about in public. Like in the back of a Volkswagen?
That will take. So anyways, yeah, so after their show's over, we went and talked to her, and she was excited. She's ecstatic. We invited her to come down Summerfest with us.
Did she have any frame of reference of anything that you may do? Like, did she hear our crowning year at all, or any?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think we had some of that up there because we had a live album we produced.
Okay.
And some things that we tried to record in my basement on GarageBand.
Well,
Shout out to GarageBand. Sounded awful. Sounded like a GarageBand. And I think that was the infamous Night of the Fight.
Night of the with the what happened? What you were just talking about with the song or the?
No, that was the night that we went to Summerfest, and some guys tried to pick a fight with us because Hans is being mouthy.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then you had to defend your dude's honor.
Well,
right?
I'm nope. Yeah, that was that night because she did not come with us because we invited her to come with us to hang out.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I can't. I have to go home and stuff. Well, she was 17. We were all in college.
Yeah.
Looking back, I get that. At the time, Jason and Cephas were dating.
Okay.
So there was another girl there, but still, looking back now, I get it.
Sure. You just met these people.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm not going to get into the whole fight thing. It's a fun story to tell, but it's more fun to tell in person.
Sure. No, that's all right.
A lot of animatedness to it.
So, okay, you meet, and she's down, and she doesn't live that far away from Whitewater.
Right.
So, do you still have that house at this point where you're okay.
Yeah. So she came to practice, and Hans came. He's like, I wrote something new. And he started playing for us. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So I writing a guitar riff to it. He had some ideas what he wanted the guitar riff to be, but he tried to direct me, but knew that I would just punch him in the face if he tried to do that. Did
he play guitar at all or
no?
Okay, so he just kind of like
hum
along kind of thing.
Yeah, well, and he could play. He was a vocal major.
Okay,
he could sing. It's just funny. It's like, why isn't he? Well, and then as a drummer, I don't think he wanted to.
Sure.
But he also could play synth.
Oh, okay.
And he wrote this riff, and I started writing to it and stuff, and that became the Red Cup Romance song. It's the first song we wrote together. And then after that, he wrote most of the music.
Oh, no kidding.
He wrote, I wrote my guitar parts. I was very adamant that you do not write my parts for me, because if you write my parts for me, then go hire a professional guitarist. I'm a musician. So, yeah, did that. And that became a big hit of a song. And we started calling him Pete Wentz.
Nice.
He hated that. Like, I think he secretly liked it, but don't call me that.
He had to be outward and be like, I hate that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, for those who don't know, what was in that band?
Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy. Pete Wentz was the bass player. He wrote all the music. And he's kind of a douche.
Or I can't remember if it was... Wait, didn't he write all the melodies and the vocals? But they collaborated on the music, but he wrote all the which is
what Hans was doing.
Sure. Okay.
He read the melodies, and he would write a lot of the music. Like I think he wrote the lyrics to Red Cup Romance.
Okay.
Which is all about going to a party, getting hammered, and finding, quote, true love, but you're just hammered and looking for a fun night. Yeah.
True love.
Yeah. Red Cup Romance. I'll never call you in the morning. That's what your line was.
Right.
Which is kind of like weird hearing a 17-year-old girl sing about it, but whatever.
Sure. Stranger things have happened.
Well, now in today's world, that's normal. But anything that had synth in it, that's the song he wrote.
Okay. He was going to use it. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, there's one song that she wrote. No. He had the melody in his head. And she's like, I don't have any words. He's like, give me your poem. She was brought a poem book.
Okay.
He's like, give me your poem book. This one. She's like, what do you mean? He starts singing it, and I give him credit. He could hear melodies.
Okay.
And it's like, I never would have picked that melody out with those lyrics.
Right.
But
okay.
it works really well. So I had a lot of fun in that band because being the only guitarist for so long. I had full. No one else could play the guitar, so they couldn't tell me what to do. They give me suggestions what they're looking for. I'm like, okay, I would concede. In that point, as long as I could still write the part.
Sure.
So I had a lot of fun in that. And Jason, I remember we started recording stuff in our crowning year. He didn't know anything about scaling. I'm like, we're in this key. Again, my dumbass. But in this case, it really was a bad thing. He was doing like notes next to, like frets next to each other.
Oh, yeah.
They were not the right proper ones. And I was like, try this instead.
Yeah.
And it works better. But he understood, okay. And he's a smart guy. He gets it now.
Mm-hmm.
Just need to be told that. Oh, okay, he gets it. But he wrote his own parts. He pretty much go off while I was playing, and then kind of massage after that.
Sure.
But we played a lot of shows as singles from friends, and we got really popular.
Yeah.
To the point where we had shows booked for months, and playing every weekend, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Thursdays. It was getting tough, and the Thursday shows were the worst because Hans was kind of like church. He would get shows everywhere he could. Just hustle. Jason and I were like, that's what I write. You book the shows. At the point where like we had to all agree on a show, and Hans got sick of waiting for us to agree.
So he would just say yes, and then y'all deal with it.
Yeah. Well, the problem was that Emily was still in high school.
Right.
I remember we had a show in Eau Claire.
Oh man!
Like on a Wednesday or Thursday night, and we go pick her up, and she just runs out to the van, jumps in as her dad's chasing her.
Sure. You stupid fucks.
He's like, I am not okay with this. I'm like, whoa. He's screaming at me. I'm not driving.
Yeah.
This is when I had that dumb van.
Shout out to dumb van.
Oh God, $300 with no front brakes.
Heyo.
Yeah, learn how to fix cars there.
Yeah, right.
And he's like screaming at me. He's like, I want her home by 11. I'm like, did she not? I was like, whoa, I didn't know that there's an issue. I wish I would have sat there and talked to him a little bit because I was older. I was like, I think 27, 28. Like, I was older and wiser. I could have maybe sat down and talked to him like, hey, I get where you're coming from moving forward. But we didn't know there's an issue. We would have,
Yeah.
But I was just like, yeah, we'll get her home. Yeah, like at 2.
Yeah. Then she had to go to school the next day.
It didn't end the band though. But from that point on, we were more careful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think she was trying to get in school in Whitewater. And I think she did, but at the time, what? Oh, I left the band at that time. We'll get to that.
Okay. Yep.
So we played a lot of shows, and we were MySpace heroes.
Well, and you guys were at that point where it's kind of nice to be at, where you didn't have to actively book shows anymore, right?
No,
you were getting contacted
requests all the time.
Yeah, which is like
that's a sweet
what
spot.
you want to do. Like
Yeah.
that's a sweet spot because then you can be selective, or you can kind of like hustle people a little bit more as well if you want to. Like,
Right.
oh, you got to give us an extra $25
We didn't have
or
to worry
whatever
about
the fuck.
We didn't have to worry about getting gas in the van or paying for food. We had enough money in the bank for the band at all times that we could support the band itself.
Yeah.
We could pay for shirts for the band. We paid for CDs we made for the band. We didn't have to use our own money for anything. The band paid for that van.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. But just as far as like if Hans needed new cymbals or something like that, then that wouldn't come out of the band thing or like
Actually,
stuff like
I
that.
think we did pay for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think that was the only instrument that was paid for by the band.
Okay.
Because he wasn't working. I think he'd be working on campus, or maybe he did pay for him. I don't know if I can remember.
Right. But I know you were getting.
We were self-sufficient, put it that way, which is a good place to be as a band, without having to work hard for it. And it was neat was that we were getting pretty well known.
Yeah.
Europe loved us. People wanted to come over to Europe and tour. And we were talking about it. Like, how can we do this? We don't have any money.
Fuck, that would have been an experience, eh?
I know, right? Well, I don't think it would ever happen because Emily was
Yeah, I mean,
still living at home and stuff.
yeah.
The coolest thing actually was my cousin at a family event. She's like, "Are you really in Serving Friends?"
Oh, shit.
I was like, "Oh yeah, you heard of us?" She's like, "Everybody in my school loves your band." And I found out that you play guitar. I'm like, that's my cousin. It's like, oh, okay. I'm like, how do you respond to that?
Right. Yeah, that's a strange thing for sure.
Yeah,
Pretty cool,
so
I bet, though.
it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was cool that we get recognition. We were playing down in Illinois, Minnesota, a little bit Midwest. Well, we in the bands we met, we had a Christian band that sounded just like Reliant K, and they loved us. They tried to get us on their label because they were labeled, and the label said, "Well, no, not Christian." Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you actually met us outside of the. You realize that was a smart move on your
We
part.
are fucking heathens.
We had another band down in Illinois to try to get us on their label, which they were interested, but they were spending so much money on this band, they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Well, it's because this band was trashing their gear every show. I had never seen such a thing.
Living the dream.
Yeah, is that really? Oh, I don't know. But like, we made such good contacts. We were friends with all the best local bands of the genre. We were like a pop punk band.
Yeah.
Of the genre, and we even met a band from. Where are they from? I think they're from Canada. It's called Never in a Day or something. Jason would remember. We met them at a show in Madison, and I can't remember what the place was called, but they screwed musicians out of money all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're constantly not getting paid,
Okay.
or we have enough to buy Taco Bell. Well, this band, were really cool guys. Never in a Day, I think. Yeah, that's Jason one of these days. But they're really cool guys, and they're talking about getting Taco Bell and sleeping in their van in the parking lot. I'm like, well, we live 45 minutes away at a house. There's plenty of room. We just come hang out because they had to show in Madison the next day.
Yeah.
Like, just come hang out with us. Okay, so I bought 2 cases of like Paps off of the bartender, and we went home and partied, and then the show got canceled the next day. So they stayed the whole weekend with us. Like, I went to Janesville and bought 5 cases of beer 30 because that's the cheapest beer you could find. Brought it back and we just partied, and then every time they came through Wisconsin, they planned a whole weekend to spend with us at our house.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And we just had so much fun. They're always picking on me because I have the low Blink-182 hanging guitar. You gotta put it up here by your chest, And I'm like, oh, fuck it, guys. I'll do my own thing. But then, and one time we found a Peter Fonda Mr. America helmet.
Okay.
And Hans drunkenly put it on his head. We're all breaking bottles on his.
Oh, Jesus.
Tried to break a wine bottle on his head. It wouldn't break. He's like, stop it! Bang! Ow!
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's. I think that was. We also we had stolen a color guard saber from the school.
Oh, my God.
And we were taking turns throwing it through the wall like a dart. At one point, we got all the way through the whole wall, and we had a dry erase wall board on the other side. It was hanging off the point.
Oh, man.
I think at one point, Hans ran in the hall full force and just leaped into the wall, putting a giant hole.
Oh, man.
Like, we were living like rock stars, I will say the best story from that house was you weren't allowed to have pets, and Josh had a cat. And we're like, we're not gonna worry about it. We'll have the cat there.
Yeah.
And the cat was not fixed.
Oh, shit. And it was male, right?
I know it was female.
Oh, okay.
So once in a while, it just started forever.
Yeah.
Well, the landlord would cut the grass, and one time he's cutting the grass and he knocks on the door, and I come outside and close the door behind me so he wouldn't get inside. And I'm standing there staring at him. He's just staring at me. We're staring back and forth, and all you can hear was meow from the window next to us. I'm just stone facing him like, what up? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, what's with the cat? I'm like, we're watching for somebody. Get out of here. Okay. You know? But it's just funny because you just hear wow, like 5 feet away from us, and we're just staring at each other.
Oh.
like who's gonna mention
first?
it?
Yeah. It's meowing in your ear, and you're just like, it's not there.
And Amy, who said a cat that's not fixed, you know what that sounds like.
Fuck.
It's the most annoying sound.
It's so bad. It's so bad. So what? So you got rid of the cat, or did?
Yeah, that was that's before like Sing Swing Friends stuff. So getting back up to Sing Swing Friends, try a couple different guitarists. We had one that he bitched out on us. Like we had a show, and he called like 10 minutes for the show. I was like, I'm not coming.
Oh, fair enough.
So we called our friend Bill. Joe, twin brothers Bill, and Joe, who he's played in a lot of bands. Shout out to Bill. He's a musician. He's one of those kind of guys that you can call in a pinch.
Yeah.
So we pick him up on the way. I'm like, I have my guitar in my hand. I think Jason was driving the van. I'm like, all right, I'm just teaching the songs. He's like, don't worry about it. I'm like, I teach him real quick. He's like, no, I'll get him. What the? I'm like, but I can teach. I couldn't. It's like, dude, we're good. Trust me. All right. So go to the show. We're playing. I look over at him. He's rocking out. I'm like, sounds good. Like, wow, he's a seasoned musician. I mean, yeah, I should have trusted him. After the show, I was like, man, you sounded great. Like, you did a good job. He's like, oh, I had no volume. I was just acting like I was playing. I'm like, you son of a... That's fucking ingenious. I mean, that was... Because I was the only guitarist in the band. I wrote all the parts for myself to play.
Yeah.
He didn't have to play anything. He was just kind of filling in. Like, wow. And this guy, you meet him, you think he's not all there up there. Like, he kind of sounds like a space cadet, but he's a really intelligent guy. This guy was a rock star. I went to when me and Jason met him out at the bars one night, and we were just hanging out, getting a little tipsy, a little drunk, and we walked back to his house. So like, let's play some music. And it's like 3 a.m. Yeah, let's do it. We go down the basement, we're playing. He starts playing real slow riffs. It's like, this is called slug metal. You're like, all right. And he starts spitting everywhere. He's like, you can't play slug metal unless you're spitting everywhere.
Oh my god.
So I think Jason was trying to play drums, something like that, and him and I were just
shit.
playing the guitar. And then after that, we go upstairs, and he's like, we're still drinking. It's like 4 a.m. He's like, it's like, yeah, I just had the glass window was just replaced. What do you mean? He's like, well, I threw my guitar through it. Oop. And like, we're talking about it. All of a sudden, he grabs his brother's Les Paul. He goes, I liked it better open. He's about to chuck it through the window again. I'm like, Joe. It's your brother's guitar. Think a moment. Yeah, he might be mad. He puts it back down. He goes grabs another beer. I'm like, whenever you're out with that guy drinking, you knew the night was not going to end normal.
Oh man.
There's a few guys like that we used to hang out with, but
If you wanted a story, you hung out with that fucking guy, huh?
yeah, I had a couple guys like that. There's a couple times when I've wound up waiting for somebody outside the police department.
Oh, shit.
Got out of my system, let's put it that way.
Yeah. No kidding. Oh man.
So yeah, Singing Certain Friends, we had a lot of fun, and then I was no longer in school.
Yeah.
And I was working at Farm and Fleet in their service department, not making enough to cover the rent. And I was going further. I was about 7,000 something like that, with no end in sight.
Sure.
So I realized I was in trouble. So I called my parents, and they're like, well, if you're not in school, you can't afford to be there, then you have to come home. And we'll pay for you to get out of it. But you're going to have to come home and you're going to have to work.
Did you tell them you weren't in school anymore, or wasn't, or
No,
was
they
it?
knew.
Okay, so it wasn't like oh yeah, by the way, I
No, my parents always knew what was... I'd always call them when I was too deep financial trouble.
right, yeah.
But they always knew what was going on.
Okay.
You know,
Because you know how that you've heard that a bunch where like What? You're not in fucking school anymore. What
Oh,
are you
yeah.
talking about?
No, that was not the issue.
No.
So like, I mean, my dad's like, I will take care of this problem, but you come home, you can work off that debt.
Yeah.
Said, or go to school. So we made a deal that I would work off my debt and then go back to school.
Okay.
That way, and if I didn't do that, then I would have to pay rent to be home.
Sure.
So
Makes sense.
Yeah, we did that. So I told her that. So I tried to be in the band a little bit longer, and I was like, guys, this isn't working.
Yeah.
And it really broke my heart to say no to that band because I really enjoyed the band. That's all the shows we played with Alkaline Trio.
Yeah.
Who were douchebags, by the way. The guitar tech was super cool. I learned so much from the guitar tech.
Didn't you was that the same show that didn't you play with MXPX or something too? I thought you played with MXPX.
Oh, is that who I played with? Maybe
I remember MXPX.
It was MXPX.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Alkaline Trio. I don't know if you guys are douchebags. Sorry.
Retract the previous statement.
Yeah.
So MXPX were
douchebags.
Which is weird. Which is funny now because your favorite band is Goldfinger. The bass player is the bass player in Goldfinger now.
Yeah, so I met him. I said hi to him. He kind of just walked by.
Just one of those.
Ignored us.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just the local people.
Sure.
But the guitar tech taught me a lot about prepping for a show and stuff. And this is at that place. What was the name of that? It's called the Loft or something. It's in Madison. It was a giant concrete room with the floor went down into like a pit that was like 6-7 feet below the stage.
Okay.
It had wings that came into the stage.
Okay.
It was a huge room.
I don't know.
All concrete, so you couldn't hear a damn thing. I had some recordings from it. But we also played with the Get Up. Was it Get Up Kids? I think it was Get Up Kids.
Okay.
The drummer from Mest was in that band.
Okay.
I sat down and shut the shit with the guy from Mest the whole time. He was super down to earth. Super cool.
Was that at the same time he was in Mest, or was he in Mest and then that band? Do you remember?
Mest was done with at the time.
Okay.
And I remember because we had a manager at this time. Singer Service Friends, we had a manager.
Yeah.
My manager's a huge fan of Mest, just like I was, or still am. And we both come up to him and be like, "Hey, we like your old band." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, man. What's up?" And we sat and talked to him about it. He's like, "Dude, yeah." I'm like, "So what really happened in the band?" He goes, "Oh, fuck the singer." Which was what happened.
That makes sense.
Yeah, screw Tony. That's what he's saying. He's like, he told me that like Tony was going through this whole thing where like he's in love with this girl and he's in front of this girl, and then he was with somebody and got into like a real serious altercation that involved the courts. And I'm like,
Dang.
and then I guess Mest and then Tony took Mest and went and started his own Mest band.
Okay.
Which the rest of the guys are like, what the fuck are you doing? We're all part of this. So that got shut down within a year.
Okay.
And I think Mest got back together again. For a short time anyway.
Yeah. I want to say I've seen flyers like on the interwebs, so I don't know if they're doing shit again or what, but I have I'm not super familiar with them. I know I've known you're a big fan of them. The only time I have anything to do with that band, any story or anything, is I went to see The Urge, and they opened for The Urge.
I wish I could have seen The Urge.
It was, oh, fuck. It's a band that always, is it NoFX? It might have been NoFX. But Mest opened that show. Okay. It's like, it was fun. We were up in the balcony, right, and shit. So we're just, people are having fun. That's cool. That's a lot of fun, right? All of a sudden, dude, what's his name? Tony. He chucks his guitar into the crowd.
Oh,
he chucks his guitar into the crowd, right? So this person catches is like, holy fuck, I got a fucking guitar.
Yeah.
At this show.
Yeah.
And then Tony goes, I need that back. The show was over at this point. Yeah. Like, that was their big woo. Yeah. He threw the guitar in the crowd. He goes in the crowd and he has to get it back. But he's not like, hey, dude, come on. This was a show. Let me take care of you. Come with me. We'll take care of you. It was crowd surfed to the guy to steal his fucking guitar back.
Yeah,
with
like-
the mic in his hand.
Was he
So he's-
swinging at him and stuff?
He's berating this guy who's in the middle of the pit that has his guitar, holding it above his hand, and he's crowd surfing with the mic in his fucking hand still, berating the guy about getting his fucking guitar back. It was the goddamnest thing I've ever seen.
That sounds like him.
He got his guitar back, and then everybody booed him off stage because it was like, fuck this guy,
Didn't
right?
he play a telly?
I think it was a Strat.
Was it
if
a
I
Strat?
remember right, but I'm not 100% sure.
I saw them a few times live. I saw them with Less Than Jake quite often. They played together a lot. Then Bowling
I
for
think
Soup.
that was the band. I think it was Less Than Jake because I never went to see Less Than Jake
Neither did
Less
I.
Than Jake, but I saw Less Than Jake like 10 times.
Yeah,
They were always playing at the shows I wanted to go.
they always played with 311, Bowling for Soup, and Mest. The bands I played with all the time. And that's the bands I always went to see.
Yeah. So,
Them and
Yeah.
Jimmy Chicken Check. I saw them a lot by accident.
see, I only saw him that one time with 311.
I saw him a couple times. In fact, I actually talked to the singer once.
Oh, did you?
That dude was so cool.
I heard that. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
I know. Like he came out like between it's at Summerfest. Came out between stages and people were asking for autographs. And I think I was with Kappa Freddy at that moment.
Okay.
And I walked up to him and I'm like, I don't want to autograph or anything, but I just want to let you know I really like your lyrics. He looked at me with all sincerity. He goes, "Thanks, man. That really means a lot."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Wow, this guy's really down to earth."
Yeah.
He was really like. I still love that band. So,
Yes.
it's one of my favorite bands from back in the day.
I have everything. I have
You have all their
everything.
albums?
I have everything.
So I had like their first 2 albums, and I know they have more after that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're all in the Magic box there. Pretty sure I have them all.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard of Jimmy's Chicken Shack, check them out.
Fucking shout goddamn out.
Yeah, dude, that's a good
Awesome.
band.
But yeah, that fucking dude from Mest.
Yeah, he was a handful, and that's what dude said.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, the guy was just a handful.
Oh my
He was just a
God.
douchebag. But the drummer, shout out, I think his name is Nick.
Okay.
Shout out to Nick from
Hopefully,
Mast.
Nick.
Yeah, hopefully Nick.
That's awesome.
Dude was so cool to talk to. We literally spent the whole day talking to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was all about just hanging out.
Just hanging out. It's fucking sweet.
Yeah, I wish I could, maybe exchange numbers or something. but yeah, so we played with some good bands.
Yeah.
Got some good experience and stuff, and I remember one show we played. Someone built a stage and had to put C-clamps to hold the stage together.
Oh shit, yeah.
The risers.
Oh.
Yeah, you've seen this in movies. We never thought it actually would happen in real life. Our drummer fell through the stage.
Yes. Oh shit. Ass
Also,
over
let's-
tea kettle.
Yeah, like all of a sudden this drum stop, I turn around and look, and he's gone. I'm like, is this a Philadelphia experience? He just freaking disappears. And I look, and the stage is separated right when the legs of his drum throne was.
Oh.
And he was laying on the floor behind there, grabbing his head. But, to his credit, he got right back up on the drums like that. Like, he only missed a few measures, This is at the Oconomowoc High School.
Nice.
Yeah, real classy. We played all kinds of shows. Didn't care where it was.
Yeah.
And we're playing. There's 2 bands we played with all the time. Now You Have Audio, and then another band. I can't remember the name of that band anymore. But we always traded shows all the time.
Sure.
And we were good friends with them all. But that was the same show. I think I told you this story about how it was one band was like a real hardcore band.
Yes.
And they
Oh, it's
broke
so
it real
great.
down there. And the guy's like, "This is the part of the song where you die." I look at Jason, I'm like, "Did you just fucking say that?" I'm like, "What the heck?" So we're up there and like we didn't talk about this at all. Other than I think Jason and I might mention it. We're up there in the middle of a song. And it's a breakdown. Like it's really like just calm spot, like calm before the storm like moment. And Emily goes, "This is the part of the song where you dance." And we start like dancing on stage. Oh, dude, those guys gave us the dirtiest looks. Because we were a happy hardcore kind of band,
Fuck. And I can see. I mean, it's hilarious without the visuals that I'm creating in my head. But what I'm creating is like, I think that GIF that's going around where people are, it's the hardcore band, and he's super jacked, and he's got his shirt off, and you can tell he's got the thing, and he's super hard, and then like people are putting their own music to it, so it's like, I don't know, he's like, they're doing hardcore, like whatever, moshing and slam dancing or whatever the fuck they call it, to like the SpongeBob theme and shit, and they're just doing the bushwhacker thing, just flipping out, and he's cupping the mic, and that's what I'm picturing. This guy looking like, this is the spot where you die.
It's like Avenged Sevenfold, but like they had no right to be.
Oh, fucking awesome!
I know.
That's got to be a thing. You need to start a new band just so that can happen. Like this is the premise I want, guys. Okay, I don't give a shit what song. I don't know how many. I don't care if we release an album. I don't care if we play covers. But this has got to be the part where you go, this is the part of the song where you die. That's it. That's all I want. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want. That's all I want.
Well, and I give them credit because they were like a screamo band, and they were putting on an act, putting on a show.
Sure.
Which is something I really learned in those two bands, XIII Year and Sing for Friends, that when you're on stage, you're not there to play your songs, you're there to perform your songs. And I famously have said that I make a mistake in literally every song, every show.
Yep.
I remember my friend Bob got married. I was in charge of his bachelor party. I also had a show that day. So I planned this whole bachelor party around me leaving for a couple of hours to do the show. And I didn't tell anybody I was leaving, but got to the spot where I'm like, all right, you guys have fun. I have to go do a show. But you guys we're at like some like fun house place, so we spend hours having fun.
Okay.
Like, so I'll be back. And they're like, well, why don't we just go watch your show? Like, if you want to.
You're right.
I figured you guys wouldn't want. I want to take away from your bachelor party. No, I'd be fun to watch. He's a former musician.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think he plays anymore, but. So they came, and I remember we played Red Cup Romance, and it starts off with just some hits, and a couple measures, and then the last hit. I was a half note off, half fret off. I was a fret off. So everyone's staring at me. I just. But I was jumping up and down, and like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, yeah. I remember Jason looked at me like, really, dude? And I was like, yeah.
That's why you do all hits open. Doesn't matter. Yeah. You put them in E or in D or whatever you're in. You just put them open.
Yeah, I played G flat instead of G. But whatever. I mean, the way I see it is, if you want to hear the music played perfectly, buy the CD. I'm putting on a show because if I'm not amped up, you're not amped up.
Sure. You can't be just like, unless you're in some sort like. Well, it's like, especially if you're like a local band where you can't have like it's not like Tool where like the visual. Is like the thing, and then all the crazy music is like the soundtrack to the crazy shit you're looking at. Obviously you don't have that budget, you don't have that way to do it, so you have to be something to look at, and you have to make it look like you're enjoying what the fuck you're doing.
Well, also, in your local band, people don't know your music.
Yeah.
So you're just playing your music. People are like.
You have to do something to make them remember you.
Right.
It
has to be fun.
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking, I didn't tell you this part of our crowning year. The best moment in my life in music. I think I told this in the past though, but officially on here I will say it because I wrote that the song. I don't know what it's called. Oh, Lousy Line of Credit.
Okay.
It's the first single we ever put out. And at the first show we played, a kid came up to me to the front of the stage as I was singing. So like I had a thing when I would start singing, I would close my eyes for a second as I'm kind of gauging into it, and as I start singing, I'll open my eyes up.
Yeah.
I open my eyes up in front of me. It's a kid singing the words back to me. My first show. Word for word. He loved the music.
Yeah.
But that was like the greatest feeling in the world is to see some kid liking the song so much he memorized the words.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it is a catchy tune. You know, at least I think so. I wrote it. I mean, vocally, I'm not very good at it, and I've gotten better now taking vocal lessons because God knows I was horrible. Still, I'm like mediocre at best. But
whatever in that moment in life,
yeah, that's
it
the greatest
worked.
feeling in the world.
It worked.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. The kid loved the music.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like my best feeling in the world. Yeah, I could never top that. Like I even stopped singing a second. Like
Like it shocked you?
yeah, it shocked me
Yeah.
that, and I got back into it. Luckily, he was singing along. I could catch up. Yeah.
I don't remember what the next fucking line is. Okay, there it is.
Just stop playing guitar and stick the mic off and thanks. Keep going. Well, that's another thing. A lot of local bands. I don't think bands do this anymore. 215 did once in a while, but especially in the pop punk genre, a crowd and a participation is very important.
Yeah.
So like we all bought wirelesses as soon as we could afford them, so we could go out in the crowd and play. In fact, Jason broke his bass swinging on a stripper pole at
Oh, jeez.
swinging around. The bass swung around.
Oh!
Broke the I think it was the tone pot or something like that, and the pick guard. He had a Fender bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. But I'd go out there and like I'd hold the note and be like strum it, and then strum it.
Sure. Yeah.
You strum, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we would break down the song and get the crowd to sing along. Did a lot in what song was that? Might be Red Cup Romance. We had a sing along part in it.
Okay.
You know, I think that's and that kind of music was very important to do.
Yes.
It, especially with a girl singer. It has a certain nuance that invites that.
Yeah, just the I think the music in general.
Right.
Yeah, that style of music. Yeah, it comes. You know, I mean, like, punk rock at its basic was always DIY.
Right.
And that the reiterations of whatever punk rock became is whatever.
Right.
Doesn't matter. That idea was always like a through point. DIY, we're all in this together. So why wouldn't you? That's where it lends to being able to.
Cool.
You're in a group here, and we're all gonna have fucking good time.
It was kind of like this is the part of the song where we dance.
This is the part of the song where we cry.
Yeah.
No, but that's the part of the song where you participate.
Right.
You know?
And we used to have dance contests
Oh yeah.
at our
Yeah,
shows because we'd be playing every time we played at the rave bar where you had to sell a certain amount of tickets.
Yeah.
We would usually just eat that price and just give tickets away.
Yeah. Okay.
We had enough shows in advance that we'd be like, all right, dance contest gets you 2 tickets.
Okay, and then you can make that up.
Right.
You know, at some point or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
Or selling T-shirts or something.
it gets to the point that we stopped. Like people would ask us like, "Hey, we're going to rave to play. You want to play this?" No. Stop doing it because it just pay to play is not. That's not okay anymore in my mind. It's taking advantage of musicians.
Yeah, yeah, you know, and there's a certain point where that works, but there's only a certain, like, how they would do it is where you're opening up for said band, but you're not playing on the rave stage.
Right.
You're playing in the bar. So those people don't really, there's no crossover there. So like we did that a bunch too. You know, like in Breathe Silence, we did a bunch of shit. And we never had to, well, I guess it is still a pay to play thing where you sell a ticket and you got to give them the money.
But they're making money twice.
Yeah. And they, you know, at least at that, like, we never did any like, oh, you have to buy these tickets. You know, they've done that a bunch. I know Jordan like talked about that and shit too.
Yeah,
like
they did that to us.
Yeah, we never were we were never fortunate. We were never in that thing, but we always had to give them money. So I mean, we we always had to give them the money and then whatever tickets. So if there's like 2 tickets missing, well, we were making up the cost, you know.
Oh, yeah. See what it was you had I think it was $300. You had to buy $300 worth of tickets.
Sure. And then you sell them for whatever you want.
Right, to try to make your money back.
Yeah.
So they made $300 on you already, and then they make money on all of the liquor sales.
Yeah.
Now Now I will say though that place had a good sound. The bar had probably the best sound in the house.
Yeah, besides the
Basement.
I didn't like the basement. It was so well, it depends cuz that like the last time we were there, I think like literally me and you we went and saw 4 Years Strong. I think that's the last show I saw
Yeah.
and that was years ago, but their sound system was so fucking loud
It
that you
was.
couldn't hear anything.
No, that needed to be turned down.
Yeah. The bar, yeah, that did because their sound system was fixed for that room, and then I'd always liked how the rave itself sounded, but the Eagles was garbage.
Eagles was garbage. The rave, for the big bands, rave sounded good. I played in the basement once, and that
I've played there too, and it was
okay.
it
But
was okay.
the best, we got to this in 2015, but the best place we've ever played was a Hijinks,
Oh yeah,
which is now closed.
yeah. Shout out to Hijinks. Shout out to the Punzels.
Yeah. I just by the other day, I'm like, I got some time. I should stop and see how they're doing.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, it's fucking closed.
yeah, it's gone. Shout out to Chuck.
Yeah, those guys. Oh, yeah, Chuck. Those guys took care of bands. That's such a rare thing in today's
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that was definitely a home base place where like they talked to you about everything. They were happy that you were there and they didn't act like they were doing you a fucking favor.
Right. Right.
They acted even it obviously I don't want to speak for them, but even if it wasn't like true, they at least gave you the thing that like they appreciated you fucking being there.
They treat you like a partner for the night.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I love that. And that's
Yeah.
what we are. We promote the show. We try and get people to come in.
Yeah.
Our job is to bring people in. And they would they treat us really well. They give us
Absolutely.
free drinks and hang out with us and talk to us.
Yeah. Yeah, that place was the shit. And it's,
So go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm sad,
They're
that it's gone.
Yeah.
you know.
So let's just we'll just jump ahead to the. So we went from Singer Singer Friends. I left the band. They got another guitarist. I stayed long enough to help them find a guitarist to replace me and help trying to train him in, but he didn't want to. He wanted to do his own thing. I respect that. So the new songs he wrote, I had no input on and stuff, and then I think he might change some of the parts from the original songs or try to do what I was doing, but didn't know how I was doing it or whatever. I was out of the band. I guess I should talk about this. We got contacted by Victory Records right after I left the band. And
Was this when you were still training, quote unquote, like trying to help out the transition or whatever?
I think so.
Okay, because you stayed for a little while and like
Right.
wrote out the schedule, kind of right.
Yeah, help them get things moving and help
Yeah.
them find a replacement, which we already had a guy in mind, and he was a
Yeah.
decent dude. Like, I liked him.
But like whatever shows that you were like on the books for, quote
Right.
unquote, you rode those out and
Right.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, so we stopped booking shows.
sure. Yep.
So I left the band correctly.
Yeah.
I didn't just take my stuff and leave and bitch out.
Fucking A.
Yeah, you're not going to live that down for a while.
Oh well.
Hey, but at least it's out. Do you feel better?
No.
Well, who cares? But yeah, so Victory Records called, and Victory Records at the time was going through a real problem. They were doing some litigation because the owner of the company was embezzling money from bands, like Taking Back Sunday and I can't remember-
Allegedly. We
It's
just have
not
to say
alleged
allegedly.
anymore.
I know. Well, I was a super big fan of the Victory Records bands.
Yeah,
I had a ton of bands, like they would put out like Victory samplers and shit, and I would just buy them because it's like all these new bands that was like, I liked that shit, like Snapcase, Thursday, Taking Back Sunday, I think was on there. Later on, A Day to Remember. There was a band called Thumb that I really liked. That like they didn't really do much, but they were cool. Ton of these bands. Hatebreed, I think, was on Victory for a long fucking
I remember that
time.
name.
But yeah, like if you don't know, Victory always had problems with the relationships with all their bands.
Yeah, the bands, if they could, they leave.
Yeah, like and that happened like Thursday. They signed the rec. They're like on this little documentary that they put out. They said we had issues with Victory as soon as we turned in our album.
Yeah.
So it was a constant fight, and all these. I don't know for certain, but I think pretty much all these bands that I talked about all had fucking problems. Like, Day to Remember, they went through a bunch of litigation, and they had to end up. They had this album in the can, and Victory didn't like it, but they're like, "Well, fuck you, fucking put it out, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Victory was like, "No, we're not putting it out. We don't like this record." So they won in the fact that they were able to release this record on their own. But they still had to, later on, the next records, because they had like 3 records or 2 records left on their deal,
Mm-hmm.
they had to still do them. So it was real. Imagine having to work in that environment. But I'm sorry, I kind of hijacked what you're saying. But you got contacted by Victory Records.
No, it's fine. You're explaining what happened. So yeah, the owner got convicted of embezzlement, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure he got convicted for it.
I can't quite remember, but there was some fuckery.
Yeah, I think they were able to prove it. So yeah, they contacted the band, and I guess they asked to hear anything new, and this is the way I remember it, and I will always tell it. My band members tell me I'm wrong, or the ex-band members tell me I was wrong, that they heard the new stuff and didn't like it. Well, the new stuff didn't have me. That's how I remember it.
Yeah, and I mean, regardless, they didn't like it, and the difference was you being there, not being there.
Right.
So
I'm using, just basic math here.
Do you remember what year that you left? Do you remember when that was about? Was that 2000?
You were still in Breathe the Silence.
Okay, so that would have been like 2008.
Yeah.
2000.
Sounds
So it was
right.
about 2008. Okay. Okay.
Maybe even before that.
So I think Breathe the Silence, I think it was 2007. We might have started, but we weren't really like doing shit.
No, that's when I left, 2007 then.
Okay.
Because you were just starting that band up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense then. Yeah. All right.
And I was kind of hoping you were going to ask me to be in it, but you didn't. So some hard feelings there.
Wow. Okay. 13 years later.
True talk.
I think it was like it probably just went over.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't think there was much talk.
Like Ben wasn't in the band yet.
Yeah. I think it was probably just at that, like, you were still in the band, kind of, and we were starting,
or maybe
something like that.
Maybe I told you I wasn't looking to be in a band right now. I really wanted to be.
Yeah,
because I had to work. I had to pay off my debts and stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, the style you were playing at the time, I didn't know how to interject into that style.
No, it definitely wasn't your get. Wasn't your. Jam.
What I play now would easily fit into.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have been. I mean, you would have been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
Regardless, but, yeah, that definitely wasn't your jam at the time, and that was kind of a different thing of what I was. I was doing different shit than I had previous. But, yeah, that was definitely something different from what you were used to doing and doing at the time to what I was doing at the time.
So yeah, in that time period, I learned to identify myself as something other than a musician. Yeah. Which, that was a hard struggle. I don't really want to feel like going in that too much.
No.
I hear that. You can listen to Jordan's.
That's on Jordan's. I'll put links, in whatever description, whatever to fuck for him. But I've talked about him plenty of times. I did that show. Finally, a couple months later, it pushed me over the edge to start this one. So, you guys know the story if you listen, and I appreciate that. So
moving up to 15.
Yeah, well, let's see. That was a couple of years because you had. There's one thing that I want, and this was I was already in 215, but
I think I moved to Waukesha by that point.
Yeah, I think so, but I can't remember.
Wait, that's There's time frame missing here because I went home, worked myself out of debt, and then back to school and finished it before I moved to Waukesha.
When did you move to Waukesha? Was that in 10 or was that in... Because you didn't have that much school left.
I think it's 2 years.
So was that 2000? I can't remember exactly the year.
I think I graduated in 2009 then.
Okay.
How does that work?
I don't know.
So I went home and just worked for like, I don't know, for a while. I know I worked myself out of debt.
Yeah, and I think, well, you were still working when you went back to college and finished it. You were doing a whole gig.
I was working for my father.
Yes. Yes. And I think you were doing that full time, as well as finishing up school, if I remember right. But
yeah,
it's a little shaky.
Well, I think like a 30-hour part time.
Probably in there, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the time frame of if it was before you came and played bass for 215 or if it was after and it was that time. But I remember you having...
I was in Waukesha and I did that.
Yes, but this is something completely different.
Okay.
I remember talking to you. There was a lot of times where I talked to you and you were really... This isn't necessarily fun part here, but it's something that I figure it's probably important to talk about.
Is this the part of the podcast where we die?
No, this is the this is the part of the podcast where you look inside. No, I can't remember the exact time frame, but I remember talking about it a lot. Is you held a lot of animosity towards music because of how once you were done with Single Serving Friends, that was like super, like, not bitter towards them, but you were bitter inside.
Yeah, actually, I kind of touched on this a little bit at Jordan's podcast. That for my whole life, I always used music as my way to get out, or as my outlook on life, and it was like the one thing that I could always turn to.
Yeah,
it never would disappoint me. It never would go away. It's there forever, and I felt at that point was the point where it deserved to be.
Sure. Yeah,
I felt destroyed by the whole thing.
Yeah, and what I remember talking to you, because I don't know, it might have been in the time where like you were going to play guitar in the band. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but I remember you being real angry about it. Just kind of music in general. You were just kind of pissed off at music. It seemed. And we work together. I work at the same place, so we spend a lot of time together, and there was a lot of times where because that was like a dark part in your life, like as far as
that's probably the darker spots in my life.
Yeah, and you seem to blame music for that, and you were really bitter about kind of music in general. And then I remember talking to you one day, and you were I was trying to get you to like see it, that wasn't the case, but all of a sudden we're talking about something and you stopped. And you just looked and you're like, holy fuck, I blame music for all the problems I had.
I don't remember this conversation at all.
I know, but it was like a ting, like this moment.
I did blame music for how I felt, yes.
Yeah, and you didn't like... You were so mad you couldn't see the forest for the trees, kind of thing, right?
Well, I remember I was starting to see a girl at the time, and I remember even telling her, "Do you want to hang out with me? Because I'm no longer in a band." And she didn't care I was in a band, but to me, like, there's no way she wants to hang out with me.
And this was years after.
This is actually when this is not years after. This is like
because I was working where we're at now. So it was from when you left.
This is before that, though. Me asking the girl that question.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, this conversation happened like quite a few years.
We had a lot of conversations at work.
Yeah, we did. But this particular one, because I remember coming home and telling Kelly about it, and you all of a sudden you had this moment where you sat there, because I had said something, or you like kind of made you got to the conclusion, whatever, and you sat there and you're like, I blame music for like all that. And it was like,
I wish I remember this conversation.
You had this thing, and all of a sudden, that was like a light bulb thing where like you looked at music completely different.
Yeah,
You
I do know. All my life, I knew I was destined to be a star. And when I left Singles Room Friends, I realized that was not going to happen.
Okay.
So I feel like I was lied to my whole life
Okay.
by music. And I guess that is why it's not a big thing for me anymore. I still like to play. Like, and as in 215, I didn't want to sit there all day, all Saturday practicing.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't my thing. I didn't want to sit there afterwards and hang out. It wasn't that important to me to do all that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I think part of it is because of my new outlook. Another part of it is I came so darn close in Singles Living Friends. It's like I came closer than most people ever will.
Sure.
And I went for that.
Yeah.
Like, I really went for it. I got myself so much dead, and I wasn't even in school anymore.
Yeah.
I was living out of a van, pretty much. I tried.
Yeah.
So what? I failed. At least I tried.
You tried. Yeah.
And I can always look back on that without having that what if feeling.
Sure. Yep. No, totally understand. And you were right by saying most people don't try. Is like, for instance, like me, I am completely happy with how everything ended up turning out, right? Mm-hmm. But there's one little spot, you know, there's not a whole lot of regrets that I have, but I think one of them, and who knows how the fuck it would have turned out, but I never gave it the shot. I never called my shot on it. There was just something that, like, I don't know what it was. That doesn't really happen. Mm-hmm. Whatever the fuck. There's got to have been some sort of doubt, or there was something, but I never gave it that shot. Like, I think like when I was in AfroSac, like we very well could have done shit.
Yeah, you guys were good.
We had people liked us. People liked us, damn it. But no, in all serious, people that actually did like us. When we played shows, we were able to get a lot of people to come, and people cared. You know, that probably may have been the one, but you know, like, Dano was still in high school, you know, and shit. And like, just by the time, like, you know, that's not his fault. Ultimately, it all kind of comes up on me because I was an idiot at that point in my life. But
at that point,
well, more so about different shit. But nonetheless, like, I never gave it that shot. Mm-hmm. So like, you called your shot. Yeah. You know?
I mean, I wish things would happen a little quicker because I was so far into debt at that point.
Oh yeah, well, you know, yeah.
You know, if it was like a year earlier, I would have been like, let's go Victory Records, just go for like a 2-album deal. Don't need that much money, just keep us going.
Yeah.
So we get our name out there, and then hopefully get picked up by somebody else because
right.
Everyone knew about Victory Records at that point. Like there was talk in the underworld about that one.
Oh yeah.
Like they weren't in trouble yet, but when they got in trouble, we were like, "Yep, that sounds right," because it was already being spoken among musicians to be careful of them. But yeah, so like, you know, I've talked to record deal people. I've had managers. I got to the point where we weren't booking our own shows. I mean, we were as successful as you could be in Wisconsin.
Sure.
So it's like, you know, I have no regrets of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do kind of miss it a little bit, but at my age now, I'm glad I don't do it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't keep up anymore.
No, I hear you.
But like when you asked me being 215, I was like, yeah, I felt like a pro, and maybe a little bit of thinking I'm really good or something like that. I don't know, but when you asked me to play bass, I'm like, yeah, I can do that for you because I felt like a pro. I'm a seasoned musician. I made it really far.
Yeah.
So you asked me to do that. I'm like, you're asking me because you know I'm a pro.
Yeah.
So I learned the songs overnight.
Yeah. Yep.
And played that show and played it fine. And you guys got me drunk.
Which is,
if
you listen to Jordan's last podcast, which had this handsome gentleman sitting next to me on it, that's my move. Is I get people who don't play bass, ask them to be in my band to play bass to fill in, air quotes, and then when they do fantastic on said fill in, I get them drunk and ask them to be in the band, and in their drunken stupor, with lessened whatever, they agree. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Both Eric and Josh were super nice to me that night.
Yes.
That's the last time they were nice to me.
Yeah. So
No, Eric, they're both pretty nice to me.
that move is it's undefeated. It had a short career, but it is 2-0 with 2 finishes.
You Gretzky'd it, huh?
Oh, the Gretz, man. You know, whatever you know, it's that move is a heavyweight boxer. That is a UFC champion. Whatever you you know, want to, you know, maybe a table tennis winner, whatever, it's undefeated at 2-0.
Yeah. So played bass for a while and learn how to play bass. Which, you know, give me any instrument, I'll want to learn how to play it. That's just how I am. So I learned how to play it and played it decent enough for the band. We started writing music. Now I can call you out now.
All right.
Started writing music and wrote a bunch of bass lines. And why did we stop playing together? It was because dude left with my amp.
Yeah. He
So then I think I bowed out too because
you were just like,
I didn't want to play bass anyway.
no, you didn't, and you didn't. We may have talked about guitar, but I just don't. You just weren't. You didn't really. You just weren't in it like that.
No.
Like, you weren't like, you were invested enough to like be happy, like just playing music, but you weren't like, that wasn't what you wanted to do.
No,
So you're just like, I think this is the perfect time to
pretty much.
do something. And that was it.
Yeah. So then you guys recorded the whole album without me, and without my bass lines.
Yeah, well, we
Like
didn't
a
know what
bunch
the fuck
of
you played.
chumps.
Plus, Dave wrote him, and Dave wrote his own shit anyways.
I think Dave is a better musician in a lot of respects than I am. So he wrote better bass. I overdo things. You know this about me. Like I said in the past, like I would try to push you to see if I can get you to say, Ryan, stop that. I play the most obnoxious riffs just to see if I can get you to say, dude, knock it off.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like tapping a whole song, tapping it
Just see what I would do.
just to see if I get him to say, dude.
Another time I think was the, hey, maybe you should not do that. Maybe, Ryan, maybe I'm, that's cool, but I think that's a little much. Could you?
Funny
Maybe-
thing was, you never call me on the bullshit times I'm trying to do that. You always call me on ones I actually liked. You should do that. Like, really? You like that bullcrap with this? You think it's bad?
I said, well, it's not, I didn't,
That's my spare parts, bud.
you forgot, that bullshit that you're trying to piss me off with, you already forgot how to play that. Okay.
Yeah, I did that quite often.
I don't know. I can definitely see how it can be difficult to be in a band with at times. I have
Actually, no, you're very easy to be in a band with.
I really try to be, but there's like,
I mean, it's something that Jordan and I talked about is how much we loved playing with you.
yeah, he told me that too. But it's like, I know where I want to go, and I know where the song needs to be. So like I did this to Todsky a bunch. Like I tried to like not step on him, because there was a lot of times where I wanted to be like, no. But I would delay like, okay, if I say that to this over here, then I have to let him do this. And all to me, it ended up being better.
Okay, I want to know. Was it worse with me?
No, because I don't think so.
Because I know I'm hard being in a band with.
Well, it's that fine line of like, you don't want to, like I just said, like I have in my head, it's like already worked out,
Yeah.
and I try to like, you gotta allow the give and take, but still has to like still be some semblance of what it is in my head.
I think
so. It's a difficult thing to.
I think
to
for
do.
me, I cannot stand being told what to do. But if you tell me what I'm doing is shit, okay, I take that perfectly fine. And I'll think of
Okay.
something else. Or if you go, I'm kind of going for this kind of idea. Can you write something along these lines? Cool, I can go with that.
Right.
As long as you don't tell me play this note, this note, this note, I'll punch you in the face.
Yeah.
So, I take criticisms well enough, I think. I mean, yeah, a lot of times they hurt the soul, but you just let it go because it's part of being in a band. You just got to accept that you're not going to be perfect.
Yeah, and it's like you gotta be able to like get past what your feeling is about like you getting over kinda, and like does my part make the song better, indifferent, or worse, and there are times obviously where you're, oh fuck, everybody, just as a musician, you're like, oh fuck, that's awesome, and then there are times like, the thing that you did before was awesome, this is opposite of that, and then you have to just be like, okay, did I really, is me putting this part in this song making the song better? Because that's the point. So it's like there's a spot where like when you're younger, like when I left under 21, I couldn't get past that.
Bitch move.
I bitch moved out. What did you say? The Irish goodbye, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't, I didn't know how to deal with that. I couldn't get it. I just was like, oh yeah, and I'd be a baby about it, and I fucking laughed. Whereas like if I, wasn't 16 or whatever, and like didn't think I was fucking shit, because I was kind of had an ego, but I really had a fucking ego then, right? I would have been able to just been like, well, yeah, it's because my songs are shit. Not, you don't want to play my songs. No, my songs suck. Those were better. We should play those, not mine.
The hardest thing I always had was if I'm playing something that I don't enjoy, but if it's a song, I don't want to play it. What's the point then? If I'm not having fun,
right?
Like I remember one of the songs that you guys really liked to play was off a riff I wrote. It was a real bluesy, kind of groovy, laid back thing, and I fucking hated it. I was so bored of my mind. I remember that I think Dave said something like sometimes you just gotta play those kind of those riffs. I'm thinking no, because what's the point? If I'm not having fun, then I might just go home. So I have a hard time with that, and then balancing that with not trying to put myself over because it's fun to do those kind of things.
Sure.
And I think being in Single Serving Friends, because I played rhythm and lead, I was able to balance more.
Well, and you were the only guitar player too,
right?
So you had a lot of room to fill.
Yeah, and in 215, I played more lead lines. We started writing again.
Yeah.
The songs were already written. I played just filler rhythm lines, which is fine.
Well, yeah, and those are already, those songs are like already done. So it's like, when you're stepping into where like a certain part in the history of the band, you have to like, it's just something you do where you respect the past history of the band.
Right.
And there's a lot of there are a lot of people, and that's something you got to learn, but there's a lot of people that can't do that. And it's just like, well, you're not that useful to me. Like
you have to be able to play what was original. Once it's put into a CD and to be sold, it's done.
Unless the band wants to change it.
Right. Unless the band wants to
if you're bored,
it.
like Aerosmith, they'll play 40-year-old songs, but they play them like how they want to play them now, not how. Obviously, I'm not even close to Aerosmith or anything, but that's the same idea.
I'm just saying.
Where this reminds me of this this fucking guy. I don't. Out of protecting who it is, I'm not going to describe exactly how I know them, but I'll tell Kelly, and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, that fucking guy." Somebody that Kelly knows that is very close to her, like in a not sister but sister way, much like you and me, we're not blood, okay, knows this person who is a drummer. He's one of these rack all the way across, and he plays like two pieces of it.
You talking about me?
I am not talking about you.
Just want to clarify.
not
because we call each other sister and brother, so
it's so fucking funny. It goes exactly along what we're talking about. He's told me, because I got sucked into going into the drum room, and it was everybody like laughed at me because I got sucked into going into the drum room. Like, this is where your soul goes to die kind of thing, right? This is the part of the song where your soul dies. I go down there, and he's got this giant fucking kit, and I don't know how he gets behind it. Like one of these, like, do you have a swing that you go over I don't know how the fuck you do it. He's got his homemade triggers and all this stuff. And he goes, I don't know. He's putting himself over. It's really good. It's really good. So but every time I go and try out for a band, like, you know, they covers, and like I do my own thing, and then they never call me back.
Because you're trying for cover bands.
See, I just told you, and you got it.
Yeah, you play cover band. You play what's
he's talking about like putting like a bunch of fills in AC/DC songs and shit. It's like, well, why would I play it if I don't want to I got to put my spin on it, right?
That's not what cover bands do.
That's not what anybody wants to fucking hear.
No.
And I was sitting there going, I wanted to just be like, but I was like, man, I don't know. And then, you know, he wants me to come and jam, and I'm like, we'll see, man. You know, it's just like, fuck, get me out of here.
Wow. But no, you're right. If you want to play, if you want to put your own spin on things, then you're playing originals.
Yeah, or you're rewriting a cover in your own image.
And you know, and that to me really depends on age, because at a certain age you can't go out and play shows anymore for originals. People are like, look at these old dudes. Yeah. And you know, I think at a certain point you go from a live performer to I'm gonna record myself and put it out on the internet. Well, which is kind of think where we're at. Yes, I'm at. You still want to play live? That's fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't.
I'm not calling you old, but I am.
I can't. Oh fuck, man. I am old, but no. It's in there. I can't. I'm. You know, with I'm gonna wait to cover what the whole 215 thing with once I get other people that are able to be here. But it's like I'm going fucking crazy. Like Eric all the time, even coming up to 2 days before his son is born, is going, dude, we gotta do shit, bro. Like he wants to play live, and I'm in his boat, because like I am just itching.
Yeah, I don't want to play live anymore.
And I
don't miss the late nights.
My wanting to play live doesn't understand that, but like the rest of my brain is like,
there, yeah.
I totally understand it, but it's just in there. It's just in there.
I want to play and record it and put out on the internet. That's what I want to do.
Well, then fucking do that. That's awesome.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah. But it's just like, I got that bug, dude. I need I need to be out and just be an asshole on fucking stage and play songs that I had part writing. Like it's in there. I got to do it.
Yeah, that's why I can never do a cover band.
Sure. And I don't mind playing covers. I think at my leisure.
Yeah.
You know, but like just to be in a cover band, I don't know if I could do that, even if it was like
I feel like it's lying. Like I'm rocking out to this song that I did not write.
I get it.
I'm rocking out like I own it, but I don't.
I get it. I completely understand that.
No offense, people do cover bands, man.
No.
I get it. You make decent money.
Yeah, and if you just playing, you get fulfillment from that. I just don't know if it would be enough for me.
That would be no.
I don't think it would be.
You know me. My love is the writing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I don't think I could be in a cover band, but yeah, goddamn it, I am itching to start playing music with a fucking band again.
Remember Jason was in that Cheap Trick cover band?
Foreigner.
He did both.
Oh, he did. Oh, fuck, that's right. He did do that Cheap Trick one. Yeah, that's right.
What was it called?
Cheap Rick.
Cheap Rick.
Cheap Rick. How fuck I remember that.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Cheap Rick, I guess. Shout out to Rick Nielsen. How about that? We'll go higher up on the food chain there. Yeah, but I mean, Jason's whole life, obviously I haven't talked to him a whole lot, but like his whole life revolves around music and being involved in it. So,
but now he's married.
Now he's married, and I know he does lessons still.
He still does lessons, but I don't think he's in
I don't know if
a
I don't think
band.
he's in a band anymore. I think I talked to when they had the party. I think I talked to his dad a little bit about that. But like, yeah, he just still does lessons. I think he still works at the center.
Yeah,
But-
the center's in because how they changed their rules. There's not much money there anymore.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it probably affords him certain opportunities too, which But yeah, I mean,
I think he makes decent money on his lessons, though. I think he's got a large student.
Well,
pool.
He's always been really good at guitar,
Yeah,
and I think even back then when we first started playing together, when he would get a ride to practice from his brother, he was always really good,
yeah,
and he always wanted to learn, and he was always working on shit, even back then.
One time I visited him in Waukesha. We both lived there. We'd cook out once in a while, or hang out once in a while.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm learning how to the sweep." I'm like, really? He goes, "Yeah." He goes, A few weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later, I go there for another thing. I'm like, "How's the sweeping coming along?" "Oh, pretty good." I'm like, "Oh, fuck off." Yeah.
Well, he was always a rhythm guitar player. That's where his he felt his strengths lied, right?
Yeah.
But teaching kids want to learn that stuff, so he had to learn how to do it.
Well, also when I hope I'm not pulling back the curtain too much here. I don't know who listens to this, but from what I understand, they had a problem with their lead guitarist. Couldn't get the recordings.
Oh, towards the
I'm not gonna say who it was.
we're kind of speaking out of school on that, so I mean whatever.
But apparently, Jason did the recordings for the lead lines.
Oh, sure.
All the solos.
No,
and
he
everything.
could do it.
Yeah.
He could do it, but that's not like where his comfort.
No, his comfort was in the rhythm, which is kind of like where you and I are at. I'm starting to become more comfortable going into lead stuff, but
Sure. Yeah, I can do. Starting to get a little bit more into.
You can edit that out if you want to put that in, by the way.
I ain't editing shit pretty much.
Edit? What's that?
Fuck it. All bumps
Send
and
it.
bruises, man. Yeah, just fucking send it. I'm getting a little bit more on better at doing lead lines, but it wouldn't be like for metal or hard rock, really. Like I can
You
more.
start doing more in country.
Yeah, or like kind of like Americana stuff. Like I can.
Okay.
I feel better. I feel more confident doing lead lines in that rather than like trying to bust like a fucking hard rock solo. One of the things that is like, there's plenty of differences. We've talked about some of them. We don't have to talk about any of them, but like the guitar playing and doing like country or Americana to like hard rock is, it seems like in the hard rock thing is like you have to be super duper duper technically proficient, and it's got to be like showy almost, kind of. Not, it's hard to say, like it's got to be serious, I guess. And maybe I'm looking at it from the wrong side, but it kind of feels like that. And I'll make my counterpoint so that makes sense.
Okay.
Is where when you're playing country music or Americana music, it feels like you can almost do goofy shit, like make a really weird bend, and it's fucking awesome. Whereas if you did that in a hard rock song, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that?
I think it depends on what it is.
Sure, but it just seems like there's more freedom to be goofier.
I think as a
I don't know if that's
rule,
right.
I would agree. But there are some metal soloists who make really off-centered solos that are just amazing because they're off-centered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree. It just seems as though,
But you're right. As a rule, I'd agree with you.
yeah, and it seems a little like, that
You can
decided to go there, you know?
I mean, there's a big difference between laying down a good lead line that's kind of weird versus just playing some sour notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, but there is quite a difference there, and it's just interesting.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
then the style is different.
Oh, it's way different.
I don't want to learn country style. I'm having enough time learning hard rock.
I have like, I peeled like the little skin off the first layer of country guitar playing, like just so little.
I will say though, I did like our Johnny Cash cover we did in 2015.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a lot of fucking fun.
It was, well, because we both looked at it the same way. As we gotta play a proper homage to Johnny Cash because it's freaking Johnny Cash.
Right.
But then like we took it in our own way.
Yep.
And then brought it back.
Yep. Yeah.
Like in the second riff, you punked it out.
Yep.
And it was awesome. And like in the solo, I played the first half of the solo as written, and then I played my own version.
Yes.
At the end.
Yeah.
And that was great because when we brought it back, it's like, it's a nice sandwich of how it's originally written. It may have a little spin, but we respect, we bring it back.
Yeah.
I love that version.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And didn't we put that and that Wheatus song together? Just
No.
Teenage Dirtbag? Or was that a different song?
Different song
no,
with
that was
Wheatus.
the Pixies we put together.
Pixies and Wheatus.
Yeah, so we did. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I love.
You can't put anything else but Johnny Cash. I'm sorry.
No. And I thought it was fun what you were saying is like you did the solo section, the first solo section, then we added another one where I just made noise, but it was like in key and it was so fucking fun. Like it was one of my like favorites. And I was just sitting there going, just doing this pentatonic thing and just doing two notes. But it was so fun. It was just like, because it was like upbeat, and then it was just a lot of fun. It was so much fun. And then putting like, that Wheatus and,
I'm just a teenager,
yep.
big baby.
And then the Pixies, we put those together, which was...
Which Pixie song was it?
Where's My Mind?
I don't really know how that goes.
Well, the Pixies song was always... It was kind of like always in the 215 thing. Like even before I was in 215, they played it. And then I figured the song out. And then I showed him. He's like, oh, we've been playing it wrong this whole time. So I figured it out. And we played it. And it's always been in there. And then we played that show here in town, actually, where we had to like pull everything out of a fucking
I
kneecap.
remember that show.
So then we decided to...
Was that the famous chicken wing show?
Oh, with the...
Yeah.
That was one of them, yeah. Where Josh showed Erica's balls up against the window.
Yeah. I remember that show. Josh was stumbling on that show.
What's that?
Josh was stumbling on that one.
Well, that was a long night, too. But, yeah, we put those together.
He got Eric good. I've never seen Eric's face.
He saw his cousin's nuts more often than
I know, but he's
should.
like, you can see his face. Oh, motherfucker!
Yeah.
Again,
And I think that was probably during Johnny Cash, because I was singing. I think Josh went out and had a cigarette or something.
Yeah.
And then went with his balls right on the window.
I remember I happened to be turning around just the right time to see Josh putting away and Eric going, "Oh!"
Yeah. See, I was none the wiser. That's so fucking funny. But
That's a fun show.
That was Josh's move.
That was Josh's.
But
Yours to get people drunk. His is to show brain. Got it.
Yep. Well, it's on the cover of Dark Passenger. It's hidden, but his balls are on it.
That doesn't surprise me really.
Yeah, he was adamant about
he
putting
was.
his nutsack on the cover. So Eric, being the professional that he is, found a place to put his balls where, unless you didn't know it was there, you didn't know it was there.
I'm going to keep it that way.
Well, that's good. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
I think we ran a course here.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good spot to leave off, where we're talking about Josh's balls.
I think that's a natural spot.
It feels very nice. So, is there anything else you want to add or anything before we?
No, I think I'm good. We've been here for a while.
We have been here for a goddamn long time.
But thanks for having me. I'm had a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a good time. I'm glad you're able to come up and be the first guest besides my cat, but she doesn't know English.
I barely know English, so.
Yeah, but I could halfway under. You don't run around trying to trip me.
I mean, you could always, translate later.
Google translate this. He'll be like, fuck both of you. Well, all right. We'll leave it off there. This is Can I Get More Podcasts in my monitor. I am Johnny Ruckus. This handsome gentleman is RJ Styles.
Word to your mother.
Word to your mother, and have a good time. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.